My name is Elena Hart. I'm 27. And my own parents dragged me into court as if I'd stolen from them in plain sight. My mother, Mara, cried on cue. My father, Derek, sat stiff and solemn, nodding at all the right moments. They told Judge Calder that I'd taken their business idea and built my company on it. I didn't move. My hands were folded tight, my nails digging into my palm until the pain sharpened my focus. The courtroom smelled like polished wooden. Old resentment. My lawyer, Tessa Lang, sat beside me, calm and steady. She warned me this would happen when people don't have facts. They invent a story and try to sell it. Let discovery do the talking. Judge Calder turned page after page, then paused. He lifted his eyes and said evenly, I read about this company in Forbes last week. Mara froze mid-sob. Derek's jaw clenched, even their attorney stopped writing. In that brittle silence, I realized this was never about justice. It was about control, pulling me back under their authority the moment my name became public. 7 months earlier, the lawsuit had arrived like a threat wrapped in paperwork. They weren't asking for money. They wanted 60% of my company, control, not compensation. They claimed they'd invented the software, paid for it with their retirement savings, and that I betrayed them. What they left out was everything that mattered. I'd been on my own since 17. The morning after graduation, Derek gave me an ultimatum: get a job, pay rent, or leave. So I left. I worked 2 jobs, took community college classes when I could, and learned to code out of necessity, free tutorials, library Wi-Fi, and a battered laptop that overheated on my legs. My company was built on staying coffee cups and midnight code commits, not in their living room. Now they were rewriting history in front of a judge who'd already seen my headline. Discovery stretched on for 7 months, and watching their case fall apart felt like ink bleeding through water. Every deadline thinned their story, every sworn statement peeled off another layer. First, they claimed they'd handed me a complete concept. Some late-night family brainstorm around a whiteboard. Tessa asked for specifics. Mara said July. At the kitchen table, Derek said December. In the garage, under oath, their memories shifted constantly, like lies trying on different disguises. When nostalgia stopped working, they accused me of bending time itself. Backdated files. Their lawyer claimed manipulated timestamps. Tessa didn't argue emotions, she argued systems. Independent records don't pick sides. She slid a binder toward the bench: my domain registration, LLC paperwork, provisional filings, repository logs with every signed and verified commit. Then came the proof that I'd done this alone: server bills, software subscriptions, tax filings, beta contracts, the first small payments that kept me fed. Judge Calder read it all the way someone checks a receipt, line by line. Then Tessa opened Exhibit C, a notarized, certified letter my parents had sent 3 years earlier. In it, they called my work a foolish computer hobby. They said I embarrassed them. They said they no longer acknowledged me as their daughter. The judge read it twice, his jaw tightening. You condemned her for building this, he said, looking directly at them. And now you're claiming you created it. Derek tried to rush an explanation: the idea, the vision, how they'd needed me for the technical side. Judge Calder cut through it with a single question. What was the idea, exactly? Silence answered first, then Tessa calmly said, there's more, Your Honor. She placed a speaker on the rail. Recorded call, proper notice. The courtroom went still. A tone sounded, then my voice: this call is being recorded. Mara sounded sweet at first, until I refused to be reasonable. Derek followed, sharp and entitled. They talked about rights, family shares, and suing me to teach me respect. Love never entered the conversation, only leverage. Timed perfectly to the Forbes article. The judge's expression didn't soften, it hardened. Did you just hear yourselves? He asked, when their lawyers did. Calder stopped him with a raised finger. Tessa submitted the final documents, a demand letter from their first attorney, asking for $250,000 to make the problem disappear, followed by a withdrawal notice citing ethical concerns after I refused. When money didn't work, they went after control, 60%. Once my evaluation became gossip, Judge Calder looked at my parents as if he were finally seeing them clearly. This is not an intellectual property dispute, he said. This is coercion disguised as litigation. He dismissed the case with prejudice, ordered $42,000 in fees, and issued a protective order: no contact, no interference, no messages through relatives or concerned friends. The gavel came down. It felt like relief, not revenge. Outside the courthouse, sunlight hit my face like permission. Derek called my name. I turned just long enough to say, you erased me years ago. Today, you just made it official. I walked to Tessa's car with shaking hands and my spine straight. That night, my team raised glasses in a bar. The next morning, a reporter asked for the story. I said once, No spectacle, just the records. Then I opened my laptop and kept going.